What is good? I mean, what is really good, my people? It is UK. Trot the brother, Dr. Blick, the darkest man. Around us today, guys, I'll be talking about One Piece with Dugan and MrNinjaStar. So say hi to the people, bro.
Yo, what's up, everyone? I'm MrNinjaStar, and I'm happy to be back with another video with Dr. Blick and OG Dugan. You can introduce yourself from here, Dugan.
Hi to the people, bruh.
And in today's video, we're going to be talking about whether Whole Cake Island is way too long at this point. I know Ninja's made a similar video about this, so I'm going to give this off to Ninja to say his thoughts on whether he feels like this whether he feels like this arc is getting too long or if it's dragging out. I'm going to give it to you, Ninja, so give me your overall thoughts about how you feel about Whole Cake Island.
So previous to the, I guess, the climax, which I guess you can consider this the climax, I thought it was okay. It did feel a bit long, like I think it was already like the third or fourth longest, but for the most part it was okay. It was not bad, it was not great, but it's better than the longness that was Dressrosa, so it was fine. I accept it for what it was. The Seducing Woods parts really did drag at certain points, but it caught up later with the whole Brook, it caught up with the whole Sanji stuff, it caught up, and the wedding was great. And then we actually get to the whole, I guess, beginning of Luffy versus Katakuri and then Big Mom chasing them. This is where I see the arcs kind of going downhill. I love the Luffy versus Katakuri fight, but it's becoming so repetitive along with this entire climax to the point where I'm not as excited to record. I'm not as excited to read One Piece anymore. Like, it's still great. I love One Piece, but I'm getting a bit burned out of this arc, really. Like, every time it's like, okay, Luffy has a bit of a chance, but no, Katakuri bodies him. Oh no, the Straw Hats are gonna lose. What do we do? Cliffhanger, One Piece will be on break next week, and then they end up getting out just fine. It's like Sanji's still baking the cake. It's been so long that I'm really just getting annoyed at this point. Like, I would have figured the climax would maybe be about 10 chapters at most, but I guess Oda wanted to take his liberties with other small stuff like Karatsu long transformation, Straw Hats taking on Big Mom, stuff like that. I mean, that's cool, but if it takes, as a result, the pacing of this arc can get really screwed up, and this is already the second longest arc in the manga, like 70 chapters in, so I kind of just wanted to end at this point. That's basically what I had to say.
Yeah, I see where you're coming from. So what's your thoughts on this, Dugan? Because I know you've been on and off the One Piece chapters, bro. You've been in and out, pause, but still, just tell us your thoughts, bro.
Well, having caught up, I mean, really, I think that I don't necessarily want it to end. I mean, this arc has been going for forever. We are going on 2 years in May that we've been here, so very long arc even for One Piece. But, and I will admit, it has gotten dry, but this was one of my favorite arcs up until the moment where they have to cook the cake, up until the and everything that happened after the giant cake had collapsed. So I mean, with how it's going now with the Katakuri fight, I feel like I'm gonna be disappointed, but if it doesn't go like this, but I definitely feel like they're setting up for a dramatic ending to this arc, for Luffy potentially to be defeated, for something crazy to happen. I'd like to think, because yeah, this has been pretty dry, but I don't feel like any One Piece arc has ever like gone up and up and up and climaxed and just absolutely piddled out. Because even people who were sick of Dressrosa had a pretty epic finale to it, and it ended up being yeah, probably one of my favorite arcs since the time skip, and Whole Cake was definitely looking like that, definitely. But yeah, the way things are going right now, like I said, I want to see an epic ending, and I won't feel like the length of this arc is really an issue. So yeah, do you want to add to that?
Like, when it comes to my thoughts, it comes more so down to the hype that Oda's building with the stuff that he's saying, the statements that he's saying about Warner, the statements that he's been saying about the Reverie. All of that stuff plays a major factor. And also with this arc, like, obviously being as long as it is, like, I think it's currently either the second longest arc in One Piece or the third, one of those two. But I do know that it's longer than Skypiea now. and Skypiea is like, I think it's the second longest. I'm not really
the manga,
sure.
yeah.
Skypiea.
Yeah, in the manga, Skypiea was the longest. It was the second longest in the manga. Obviously, it's shorter in the anime. Like with this arc, the issue that a lot of people are having is the fact that it seems like it's gonna end, but it doesn't end. It seems like you're wrapping up, but oh, there's still more to be done. Katakuri versus Luffy, seems like Luffy's actually gonna challenge him now, and then Katakuri be just like, I know what you're doing. Now we're back to square one again. And everyone's just scratching their head like, it's like, yo man, how long? It seems like the cake is ready, so it's gonna go straight to Big Mom. Oh no, there's some obstacles ahead of them that they can't go to Big Mom, which is all understandable because taking that cake to Big Mom is never gonna be easy. It was never gonna be easy. It was always gonna be a tough task. It was never gonna be easy. Everyone acknowledges that. It just feels like some stuff, it feels like you go into some chapters and you're just like, wow, not a lot happened when you really think about it, and then one chapter you be like, yo man, this shit is hype, man. I'm so excited, bro. My cheeks are tingling, bro. My mind is shit. You get what I mean? Like, you go into chapters hyped. It's like an escalator, bro. You go up and then you go down. You go up and then you go down. And the hype of Wano is what's making this arc feel a lot longer. And also, there are people out there that are tired of Big Mom. Like, if you look at everything that's happened, Oda has explained a lot of things, given us context for a lot of things, but we're at the point where it feels like it's wrapping up, but it's not close to wrapping up. Like, it's like 50-50. Some chapters will hint that it's close, and another chapter will say that, yo, we still got quite a bit that needs to happen. But as a whole, when it comes down to this arc and the length, it is getting a little bit too long in my opinion, because we're at the point where this arc, people are scared because of how long Dressrosa is. That's one of the main factors. Like, what do you think about it, Dugan? Like with Dressrosa's length, because I know that you love Dressrosa as an arc. What do you feel? How do you feel? Do you feel like Dressrosa has an impact in terms of people's mindset when it comes to this arc being as long as it is?
Yeah, definitely. Cause just like all the time when Oda's been in an arc for a while, people are just waiting to see the next thing. And I mean, I don't really like to rush Oda, because he's felt like he's needed to continue with the plot at many points, and has done it before. So I really like when he's able to write it out the way he wants to. Right now we're in really, like, I mean, it doesn't seem epic, but they are colliding with a Yonko right now, so I really don't want this to be something that's just, you know, they get up, they brush themselves off. We really need this to build up into something that you know, could be a catalyst for something greater, or however Oda wants to wrap it up. But yeah, like, I really want him to see it through, since we've already gone this far. Because One Piece arcs, you know, even the arcs that are slept on, like Punk Hazard, you know, it got a pretty firm resolution, and ended up being a pretty good arc in retrospect, you know. And like, same with Dressrosa and all the arcs where people thought they really overstayed their welcome, and even, like, you know, Fishman Island. I mean, just looking at all the moments where it actually foreshadowed. So I like when Oda's able to write out and get all the points he wants in, especially when it comes to, like, you know, just the tiny things like you know, Carrot, which seems insignificant, or like Jinbei's hockey, you know, showing his how strong his arm arm at hockey is right now, and little things like that. I like when we're able to see that. So yeah, like, that's just sort of my thoughts on it.
What about you, Ninja?
Pretty similar to Dugan. I guess in retrospect, we're probably gonna think about this arc a lot differently, because, like, me personally, I also love Dressrosa, but I kind of binged through all of it, so that may be a reason why. With Whole Cake, obviously, we're reading it week to week, so we're not really getting the full story as we would than us probably binging in like a week or something. Because when this arc ends, I'm definitely gonna go back and reread it, and my mindset and my thoughts will probably change on it, because I can probably see, like, okay, the dragging on doesn't seem as evident, because now I know if there is a chapter that drags on or is boring, at least I have another one to look forward to that's right there. Just press next or whatever, like, go to the next volume or whatever. It definitely, it's tough to say. Who knows? It might actually be an arc that doesn't change either way. Like, maybe it's dragging, because Dressrosa, I binged it and I said I loved it, but its padding wasn't invisible to me. Like, I still saw its pacing issues, I still saw the amount of padding it had, but as long as it doesn't take away too much from the narrative itself, which it was a con of the arc, but it wasn't too big for me. It'll be fine. Like I said, my opinion on Whole Cake will probably change after I reread it, but as of now, I'm kind of like, it's an okay arc, but it's getting longer than it should. So yeah.
And with the statement that you said, you've given me another video idea, but I'm gonna tell you guys that after we finish this video. But I do see where you're coming from. Like reading it is a massive difference to reading it weekly is a massive difference to reading it in chunks and in bulks. And that kind of does raise the question whether One Piece is a terrible series in terms of the weekly factor. Like, is it better to bulk it down? You see what I did there? Is it terrible to bulk it down rather than to actually use it in that way in terms of going through the series? But as a whole, I do feel like Oda's hyping up the series a little too much. Oda, you need to calm down, bro. You're getting money either way, bro. I know you're getting full of yourself, like you're touching yourself a bit too much, bro. You need to calm down, Oda, because we love the series, we love One Piece as a whole, but this arc is getting explained in a lot of detail, and sometimes a lot of detail is not really good enough for us in terms of a weekly portion of it. But Dugan, you got anything else to add towards this or not?
Yeah, y'all made really good points, and I mean, yeah, I do want to go back and enjoy this arc. This is actually an arc that don't freak out. I want to see a lot of the anime for this arc because this is a very emotional One Piece arc.
Yeah.
And the Luffy versus Sanji special heavily slept on because of the whole Jiren thing at the time. And everyone likes to take the shots at one trash. So. But I mean, it was a pretty good special. Like the OSTs were just absolutely on point, and yeah, a lot of great moments.
Yeah, I totally agree. What about you, Ninja? You got anything else to add? Or we can wrap up this video,
I think we can wrap up this video, bro.
Okay, so guys, make sure you check out Ninja and Dugan's channel. Links to their channels will be in the description below. I highly recommend you guys check that out. And yeah, let me just wrap up this video. So, please comment and subscribe. I know I say this all the time, but at the end of the day, I'm just saying, please hit like, rating, enjoy this video, and yeah, this UK Chocolate Brother will catch you in the next one. Bye, guys.
Peace.
Peace.